Kalen had always felt different on Vera. The planet was beautiful with glowing forests, silver rivers, and skies that changed color with the seasons. Humans were rare here, and Kalen knew the locals watched him carefully. He lived among them, helping the city with engineering tasks and exploration missions. Yet Kalen never cared much about fame. He only wanted to learn and help whenever he could. That morning began like any other. The sun painted the city in soft pinks and golds. Merchants prepared their stalls, children ran through the streets laughing, and the royal palace stood tall on a hill, its towers shining in the light. Kalen walked toward the palace courtyard. He had been invited by Princess Mira to assist with a new energy shield design for the city. She was kind and intelligent, a princess who did not sit idly in her palace. Kalen admired her determination and courage. As Kalen neared the city center, a low rumble shook the streets. The people paused, glancing at the horizon. Suddenly, a fleet of alien ships appeared in the sky. Their hulls were jagged and they glowed with a dark red energy. The citizens screamed, running in every direction. Merchants abandoned their stalls, and children clung to their parents. Kalen's heart raced, but he did not hesitate. He had trained for emergencies and had faced dangers before. Today he would not stand aside. The first ships released troops. Alien soldiers with sharp armor and glowing eyes descended in beams of light. They were fast and brutal, moving through the city like shadows of death. The city guards tried to fight, but the aliens were stronger and better armed. Buildings shook and fires began to spread. People screamed as the aliens captured whoever they could. Kalen spotted Princess Mira near the palace gate. She was surrounded by a group of royal attendants trying to retreat to safety. Her eyes widened when she saw Kalen. "Kalen!" she shouted. "You must leave. It is too dangerous." "No," Kalen said firmly. "I cannot leave you. Not while they are here." He ran toward her, dodging blasts of alien energy. The ground shook beneath him, and debris flew in every direction. Kalen's training helped him move quickly, weaving through the chaos. The aliens noticed the princess and focused their attack on her group. A large soldier, taller and stronger than the others, aimed a weapon directly at Mira. Without thinking, Kalen threw himself in front of her. The weapon fired a beam of red energy. It struck Kalen squarely in the chest. Pain exploded through his body and he fell to the ground. Dust and smoke filled his vision. Mira screamed, running to him. Kalen could feel his strength fading, but relief washed over him as he saw the princess safe behind him. He smiled faintly. "Go," he whispered. Get to safety, but Mira could not leave. Her hands shook as she tried to lift him. Guards pulled her back, urging her to run. Kalen's eyes watched her until the smoke and chaos swallowed the scene. Then darkness began to take him. When Kalen awoke, he found himself in a soft bed wrapped in clean white sheets. His body ached and every movement sent a jolt of pain through him. A nurse hovered nearby, checking his wounds and speaking in the soft language of Vera. Kalen struggled to speak. "Princess Mira?" he asked. She appeared at the door, her face pale but smiling. "You saved my life," she said softly. "I do not know how to thank you." Kalen tried to sit up, but the nurse gently pressed him back. "Rest," she said. "Your body needs time to heal." Mira nodded and took a seat beside him. "You were brave," she said. "Most would have run, but you did not. You protected everyone." Kalen felt a strange warmth at her words. He was not used to praise, especially from royalty. "I only did what was right," he said quietly. The palace was alive with activity. Messengers ran through the halls, reporting the attack and the losses. The Queen, Solara, was in council with her generals, making urgent decisions. Kalen's role in the attack was already becoming known. People whispered his name. The human who saved the princess was no longer just a foreigner living in Vera. He was a hero, yet not everyone welcomed this change. Queen Solara observed Kalen with a cautious eye. She was a strong ruler, intelligent and proud, and she had seen many dangers threaten her planet. Humans were rare on Vera, and she had always believed their loyalty could be uncertain. Now one human had risked his life for her daughter. That could be dangerous. If he had the courage to act so boldly, what else might he attempt? Kalen spent days recovering, unable to move far from the bed. Mira visited him often. She asked about Earth, about his life before Vera, and about the skills that allowed him to survive so many dangers. Kalen enjoyed her curiosity, answering every question patiently. She did not judge him for being human, and she admired his courage and intelligence. One evening, Mira leaned close and whispered, I wish the Queen could see what I see in you. She fears you, but you are kind and brave. Kalen shook his head. I do not seek approval. I only wish to help. The next day, Kalen was allowed to walk slowly in the palace gardens. The air was fresh and the flowers glowed softly under the twin suns. Mira walked beside him. Guards and servants watched him from a distance, still wary but respectful. Kalen noticed the concern in their eyes, not fear but curiosity. The palace was alive, recovering from the attack, and Kalen felt a sense of purpose. That night, alarms sounded. Kalen was alert immediately. Mira grabbed his arm. Are we under attack again? She asked. Kalen looked at the sky. No ships were visible, but the faint hum of distant engines reached his ears. I do not know yet, he said. But we must be ready. He spent the next hours analyzing the attack. Using data from the destroyed alien devices, he realized the aliens had a pattern. Their attacks were not random. They were searching for something or someone. Kalen feared that if they returned, they would be even stronger and more prepared. He explained his findings to the palace guards and Mira. They listened carefully, taking notes. The Queen finally came to see him. Her presence filled the room. She was tall, regal, and her eyes seemed to look through him. Kalen, she said, you risked your life for my daughter. That cannot be denied. Kalen bowed his head respectfully. I only did what I had to do, Your Majesty. The Queen studied him for a long moment. Your actions have caused concern as well as admiration. You are human. You are not of this planet, and yet you have acted with courage and honor. This is unusual. Kalen met her gaze calmly. I only wish to protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is all. Queen Solara nodded slowly. We will see if your words match your actions. For now, you may remain in the palace, but do not presume that trust comes easily. Kalen understood. Trust was earned, and he was prepared to prove himself. As night fell over Vera, Kalen looked out of the palace window. The stars shone bright, and the city slowly began to heal. Fires were extinguished, and citizens returned to their homes, still shaken but alive. Kalen thought about the aliens, about the danger that had come so close, and about the promise he had made silently to himself, to protect this planet and the princess with all he could give. Princess Mira entered quietly, standing beside him. You saved my life, Kalen, she said softly, and somehow I feel the planet itself owes you thanks. Kalen smiled faintly. I do not need thanks, but I will protect Vera and you as long as I can. Mira nodded, her eyes reflecting trust and admiration. For the first time since the attack, Kalen felt a quiet sense of hope. The battle was not over and challenges would come, but he knew one thing: he would not run. He would stand and face whatever came next. And somewhere in the distance, the alien fleet waited, preparing for another strike, unaware that one human's courage had already changed the course of the fight. The morning sun rose over Vera, painting the city in soft gold and violet. Kalen lay in the royal palace room, his body still aching from the alien attack. Though he had survived the blast that almost ended his life, every movement reminded him of how fragile he truly was. Yet his spirit remained strong. He could not afford to remain idle while the planet and its people were at risk. Princess Mira arrived early that morning. She carried a tray with food, though Kalen barely felt hunger. Her eyes were filled with concern and determination. You must eat something, she said gently. Your body needs strength to recover. Kalen accepted a small portion, eating slowly. Mira watched him, noting the careful way he moved, as if every muscle remembered the pain of the attack. You surprised everyone, she said. The citizens call you a hero. I cannot thank you enough. Kalen shook his head. I only did what anyone would do, he said quietly. I could not leave you in danger. Mira smiled faintly, though worry lingered in her eyes. Not everyone would have acted as you did. Your courage is rare. The palace was bustling with activity. Soldiers repaired walls damaged during the attack. Engineers worked to restore the city's energy grids, and messengers rushed between the palace and the city gates. Kalen listened as Mira explained the recovery efforts. The city would take weeks to fully recover, and the threat of another attack hung like a shadow over everyone. As Kalen recovered, he observed the palace staff carefully. They were respectful but wary. Many had never met a human, and even those who admired his bravery could not fully trust him. Queen Solara had not yet visited him, and her absence weighed heavily on Kalen. He understood her caution. Humans were rare on Vera, and one human's courage could be seen as a threat as easily as a blessing. In the following days, Kalen regained strength. He practiced walking in the gardens, careful not to strain himself. The twin sons of Vera warmed his skin, and the soft fragrance of glowing flowers seemed to ease his pain. Mira often accompanied him, asking questions about Earth and his experiences. She wanted to understand him, to see why a human could act with such bravery and loyalty. "You are not like the stories I have heard of humans," she said one afternoon. "They say humans can be reckless, selfish, and violent. But you are neither." Kalen smiled faintly. "I only do what is right. That is all." Mira laughed softly. "You make it sound simple. But I see the difference in you. You think carefully, act bravely, and care for others. That is not common even among Vayans." Kalen felt a strange warmth at her words. In this alien world, with its strange customs and powerful rulers, Mira's trust was a comfort. He had always felt like an outsider, but with her he could speak freely. Despite the calm of recovery, tension remained in the palace. Queen Solara summoned her generals and advisors to discuss the attack and the human who had saved her daughter. Kalen's role had not gone unnoticed, and the queen's thoughts were divided. She respected his bravery, but she also feared the influence he could have over the princess and the city. "Humans are unpredictable," the queen said during a council meeting. "We cannot ignore their potential. One human risked his life for my daughter. That shows courage, yes, but it also shows independence. And independence can be dangerous." One general spoke cautiously. "Your Majesty, he saved the princess. He acted without hesitation. Surely that is proof of loyalty." The queen's eyes narrowed. "Loyalty is earned. Courage alone does not define it. We will observe him further. For now he may remain in the palace, but he must understand that freedom does not equal privilege." Meanwhile, Kalen worked quietly. Though confined to his room and the gardens during recovery, he analyzed data from the attack. Using holographic maps of the city and alien energy readings, he began to understand the patterns of the invaders. They were not random raiders. Their movements were calculated. They were searching for something, though Kalen could not yet determine what. He shared his findings with Mira. "They will return," he warned. "And next time they may be stronger. We must prepare." Mira's eyes widened. "Stronger? How can we fight them?" Kalen studied the city's defenses. "The palace walls and energy shields are strong, but the city is wide. We must train the guards, organize the citizens, and learn to anticipate the aliens' moves. Strategy will matter more than strength." Mira nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "Then we will prepare together. I will help you." In the days that followed, Kalen and Mira worked closely. He taught her basic combat tactics and how to read energy patterns. She was quick to learn, her intelligence and focus making her a capable partner. The palace staff watched them with curiosity, and some began to see Kalen not just as a hero, but as someone who could guide and protect the city. Yet the queen remained distant. She visited Kalen only briefly, observing him with measured eyes. "Do not misunderstand your place here," she said once. "Your actions were commendable, but the palace is not yours. You may serve, but always remember that trust must be earned." Kalen bowed respectfully. "I understand, Your Majesty. I only wish to protect the princess and the city." The queen studied him silently before leaving. Kalen knew she would watch him closely. Her approval would not come easily, but he accepted the challenge. Courage alone was not enough. Intelligence, patience, and loyalty would be just as important. During his recovery, Kalen also noticed small acts of kindness among the citizens. People helped each other rebuild homes, shared food with those in need, and comforted children who had witnessed the attack. He realized that bravery was not only in one person, but in everyone who chose to act with care and courage. One evening, as the twin sun set, Kalen and Mira stood on the palace balcony. The city below was quiet, recovering from the chaos. Smoke still rose from a few damaged areas, but the citizens were safe, and the alien threat had not returned. "Yet, you have changed things, Kalen," Mira said softly. "You showed everyone that one person's courage can make a difference. Even the queen is watching you differently now." Kalen shook his head. "I do not seek recognition. I only act because it is right." "That is all any person can do," Mira smiled. "Still, the people will remember. And I will remember." Kalen felt a quiet pride, not for fame, but for the trust that Mira had placed in him. In this alien world far from home, that trust was more valuable than anything else. As night fell, the palace grew quiet. Kalen lay in his bed thinking about the future. The aliens had attacked once, but they would likely return. The city needed preparation, strategy, and courage, and he would be ready. Not just for himself, but for Mira, the queen, and all of Vera. Somewhere in the distance, beyond the glowing forests and silver rivers, the alien fleet moved silently, preparing for the next strike. Kalen knew their intelligence would be higher, their strategy more dangerous, but he did not feel fear. He felt resolve. The next battle would come, and when it did, Kalen would stand ready. He would fight with his mind, his body, and his courage. He would protect Vera, the princess, and the people who had come to trust him. And Princess Mira would be by his side, learning, helping, and growing stronger every day. Together, they would face whatever challenges came, and perhaps change the destiny of their planet forever. The palace was quiet, but Kalen's mind was alive with plans. He studied the alien devices, the city defenses, and the movements of the raiders. Every detail mattered. Every decision could save lives. Courage had saved Mira once, but intelligence and planning would save many more. He did not yet know what the aliens sought, but he vowed to find out, and when they returned, he would be ready. In the distance, the twin moons of Vera rose, casting soft light over the city. Kalen watched them silently, feeling a connection to this world, this city, and the people he had sworn to protect. He was human, far from Earth, but he had a purpose. And purpose, he knew, could change everything. The days passed quietly at the palace, but Kalen knew peace was fragile. The attack had left scars on the city, and whispers among the citizens spoke of fear and uncertainty. Kalen spent his mornings walking through the palace gardens, slowly regaining his strength. The twin suns bathed the silver leaves of the trees, and soft light reflected off the palace towers. Despite the beauty, Kalen's mind was always alert. The alien threat had not disappeared. Princess Mira often joined him in the gardens. She had grown more confident, asking questions about alien technology and the city defenses. Kalen admired her curiosity and determination. She wanted to understand, to be prepared. Together they examined maps of the city, discussed possible strategies, and trained with the palace guards in basic combat techniques. "You are very patient," Mira said one morning, dodging a practice strike from Kalen. "Most humans I have heard of are reckless. But you plan, think, and act carefully." Kalen smiled faintly. "Careful thinking saves lives. Bravery without thought is useless." Mira nodded, her eyes shining with respect. "I want to be like that. Strong, clever, and brave." But not everyone in the palace welcomed Kalen's presence. Queen Solara remained distant. She watched him closely, speaking less and observing more. The council often discussed his role, debating whether a human could truly serve in the palace without causing unintended consequences. One day, the queen called Kalen to the council hall. The room was grand, with high ceilings and walls covered in glowing murals that told the history of Vera. The queen's eyes were sharp as she spoke. "Kalen," she said, "you have acted bravely. That cannot be denied. Yet courage alone does not grant freedom in this palace. You must understand your place. You are not a citizen of Vera. You are a guest who has earned temporary trust." Kalen bowed his head respectfully. "I understand, Your Majesty. I do not seek privilege. I only wish to protect the princess and the city." The queen studied him carefully. "Your intentions may be noble, but the safety of the city is not a game. You will follow my rules and remain within the palace limits until I decide otherwise." Kalen accepted her words without complaint. He had faced danger before, and he could face restrictions now. Patience, he knew, was a skill as important as courage. Despite the queen's restrictions, Kalen continued his preparations. He met with the palace engineers to study the energy shields that protected the city. He helped train the guards in strategies to anticipate alien movements. Every day he moved quietly through the palace, observing, learning, and planning. Mira often walked beside him, asking questions and offering suggestions. "If the aliens attack again, they may try to bypass the walls," she said one afternoon. "Perhaps we can set traps or use the terrain to our advantage." Kalen nodded. "Exactly. Strength alone will not win. Strategy, knowledge, and teamwork will decide the outcome." Their partnership grew stronger. Mira's intelligence and curiosity made her a valuable ally. She learned quickly, memorizing patterns in alien technology and helping Kaylin design defensive strategies. Kaylin admired her courage. She was not just a princess, she was a leader, willing to take responsibility for her people. One evening, Kaylin noticed unusual energy readings near the city's outskirts. He quickly realized that small alien scouts had returned. They moved cautiously, avoiding detection. Kaylin reported this to the palace guards, but the queen remained skeptical. "They are mere probes," she said calmly. "Do not be distracted by minor threats." Kaylin felt a twinge of frustration but did not argue. He had learned that the queen valued observation and patience. Instead, he quietly prepared contingency plans, training the guards to respond to small incursions without alarming the citizens. Over the next few days, Kaylin and Mira worked tirelessly. They practiced defensive maneuvers, studied alien patterns, and strengthened the palace shields. Mira asked questions constantly, her mind sharp and focused. Kaylin realized that her understanding of strategy had grown far beyond what he expected. "You are ready," Kaylin said one afternoon, watching Mira demonstrate a defensive tactic with the guards. "You think quickly and act decisively. You could lead in a battle if needed," Mira smiled. "I only learned from you. Your patience and guidance make all the difference." The growing threat of the aliens made Kaylin more vigilant. He knew that the previous attack was only a warning. The invaders were intelligent and persistent. If the city was unprepared, many lives could be lost. He devoted himself to understanding the enemy's motives and predicting their next move. Meanwhile, the queen's caution became more apparent. She allowed Kaylin certain freedoms but monitored him closely. He could train with the guards, study the city defenses, and walk in the gardens, but he was never allowed near the palace armory or the royal council without supervision. Despite this, Kaylin used every opportunity to prepare for the future. He studied alien energy signatures, practiced combat drills with the guards, and discussed strategies with Mira. He knew that when the next attack came, every second would matter. One night, Kaylin and Mira walked along the palace balcony, watching the twin moons rise over the city. "They will come again," Kaylin said quietly. "I can feel it. Their attack will be stronger, faster, and more organized." Mira nodded, her expression serious. "Then we must be ready." "I will stand with you, Kaylin. We will face them together." Kaylin smiled faintly. "Your courage will make a difference. People follow those who inspire them, and you inspire the city. You are not just a princess. You are a protector too." Mira blushed slightly but nodded. "Then we will protect Vera. Whatever comes, we will not fail." The next day, Kaylin trained with the palace guards. He taught them to anticipate alien movements, use the terrain for advantage, and remain calm under pressure. He emphasized strategy over brute force, showing them how to protect civilians while repelling invaders. The guards listened closely, impressed by his knowledge and leadership. Mira watched from the side, taking notes and asking questions. She learned quickly, demonstrating that she could lead if needed. Kaylin felt a sense of pride. The princess was no longer just a royal figure. She was a capable partner in defense, and together, they could face any threat. Despite their efforts, tension within the palace grew. Queen Solara remained cautious, observing Kaylin's actions and interactions. She respected his intelligence and bravery, but she also feared the influence he had over Mira and the city. Trust, she knew, could not be given lightly. One afternoon, the queen summoned Kaylin again. Her voice was calm but firm. "Kaylin, you have shown courage and intelligence. Yet the safety of the city is my responsibility. You will remain under supervision and follow the rules I set. Do not misunderstand your place." Kaylin bowed respectfully. "I understand, Your Majesty. I only wish to serve and protect." The queen studied him silently, her eyes sharp. "Serve, yes. Lead, perhaps. But always remember who holds authority here. Obedience and respect are as important as courage." Kaylin nodded. He had faced danger before, and he would face restrictions now. Patience and careful action were as important as bravery. He accepted the queen's words, knowing that trust would come in time. As night fell, Kaylin and Mira continued their planning. The alien scouts had not returned, but Kaylin knew it was only a matter of time. He studied the city defenses, the palace layout, and the terrain surrounding Vera. Every detail mattered. Every decision could save lives. Mira stood beside him, her eyes reflecting determination. "We will be ready," she said softly. "We will protect the city, the citizens, and each other." Kaylin smiled faintly. Together, we are stronger. Courage, intelligence, and teamwork will make the difference. We will face them, and we will stand firm. The twin moons rose high over Vera, casting soft silver light across the city. Kalen watched them silently, feeling a connection to this world and its people. He was human, far from Earth, but he had a purpose, and purpose, he knew, could change everything. The alien threat was growing. The city would need courage, strategy, and unwavering determination. And Kalen, alongside Princess Mira, would be ready to face whatever came next. The first signs of trouble appeared just as dawn painted the sky in soft gold and violet. Kalen was in the palace gardens observing the energy readings from the city perimeter. His body had healed and his mind was sharper than ever. He knew the aliens had been scouting, preparing for a second strike. Today, he would see if the city and its people were truly ready. Princess Mira joined him, carrying a small tablet with the city's defense plans. "Do you think they will attack soon?" she asked, her voice steady but serious. Kalen studied the readings. "They are coming. I do not know exactly when, but I can feel it. Their scouts have reported back, and they will strike when they believe the city is vulnerable." Mira frowned. "Then we must prepare quickly." Kalen nodded. "We must ensure that the guards are ready, the citizens are safe, and the palace shields are at maximum. Strategy and timing will decide the battle." By mid-morning, the city guards were assembled in the courtyard. Kalen moved among them, correcting their positions, explaining tactics, and showing them how to anticipate alien movements. Mira stood beside him, offering instructions and support. The guards listened carefully, respecting the human who had saved their princess. Suddenly, alarms rang out. The twin suns had risen high, and shadows stretched across the palace walls. From the sky, the alien fleet descended in formation, more numerous and organized than before. Their ships glowed with red energy, and beams of light cut across the city streets. Citizens ran to safe zones while the guards braced for combat. Kalen's heart remained steady. He had anticipated this moment. "Defend the walls," he shouted. "Protect the citizens and follow the strategy we practiced." The aliens struck hard. Their weapons fired energy blasts that could melt metal and shatter stone. Kalen moved quickly, coordinating the guards and using the palace's defensive systems. He directed shields to block attacks, guided archers to weak points, and helped evacuate civilians from danger. Princess Mira acted with courage, leading groups of citizens to safety and helping the guards coordinate their positions. Kalen watched her closely. She was calm under pressure, precise in her commands, and fearless in the face of danger. Together, they were a force the aliens had not expected. An alien squad tried to breach the palace gates. Kalen saw them and ran forward, signaling the guards to flank the intruders. The squad fired their weapons, but Kalen blocked the blasts using a portable energy shield he had designed. He moved with precision, striking the aliens' weak points and forcing them back. Mira called out instructions, guiding the guards to form a defensive line. "Hold the gates! Do not let them inside!" she shouted. The aliens regrouped and launched a heavier attack, targeting the palace towers and the city walls. Kalen noticed that some of the alien weapons had a pattern. He quickly calculated a counter-strategy. Using controlled bursts from the palace energy shields, he reflected some of the energy beams back at the attackers, causing confusion among their ranks. The battle raged for hours. Kalen moved tirelessly, protecting the citizens, guiding the guards, and coordinating defenses. Mira stayed by his side, fearless and determined. Together, they turned the tide of the battle. At one point, a massive alien soldier aimed directly at Princess Mira. Without hesitation, Kalen leaped in front of her again. The blast hit his shield, sending him sprawling, but he absorbed the impact and pushed Mira to safety. She looked at him with wide eyes, realizing once more the depth of his courage. "You always protect me," she said, her voice trembling. "Why do you do it?" Kalen caught his breath and smiled faintly. "Because it is right. That is all anyone can do." The aliens, frustrated by the resilience of the city's defenders, tried a final push. Kalen noticed that their formation was breaking. Using this opportunity, he led a group of guards in a counterattack, pushing the aliens back toward their ships. Mira coordinated with the city engineers to activate hidden traps and barriers, blocking escape routes and disabling alien technology. The aliens, realizing they could not succeed, began to retreat. Their ships rose into the sky and vanished beyond the horizon. The city had survived. The citizens cheered, grateful and relieved. Kaelin and Mira stood in the courtyard exhausted but proud. The battle had tested them, but they had endured together. Queen Solara appeared in the courtyard, observing the aftermath. Her expression was unreadable. She approached Kaelin, her eyes studying him carefully. "You have done well," she said finally. "Your courage, intelligence, and leadership saved the city. The people owe you gratitude." Kaelin bowed respectfully. "I only did what was necessary, Your Majesty." "The city's safety is all that matters." The Queen nodded slowly. "You have proven your loyalty and skill. That cannot be denied. Yet remember that trust is a journey, not a single act. You have taken the first step." Kaelin accepted her words. He understood that the Queen's approval was hard-won, and he was prepared to continue earning it. In the days that followed, the city began to rebuild. Kaelin worked with Mira and the guards to strengthen defenses, repair damaged buildings, and ensure the citizens were safe. He studied the alien technology left behind, learning its secrets and devising ways to counter future attacks. Mira often joined him, eager to learn and contribute. "You taught me so much during the attack," she said one afternoon. "I feel stronger, more capable. Together we can protect Vera from anything." Kaelin smiled. "Your courage and intelligence make you a strong leader. I only guide you. You inspire others to act, and that is just as important as any weapon or strategy." The Queen observed these interactions quietly. She saw how Kaelin's guidance had strengthened Mira, and how their partnership had inspired the city. Slowly, she began to respect his presence, though her caution remained. Trust, she knew, must be earned over time. One evening, Kaelin and Mira walked along the palace balcony, looking over the city. The twin moons rose in the sky, casting silver light over the rooftops and gardens. "The city is safe for now," Mira said. "But I know they will come back." Kaelin nodded. "Yes, and when they do, we must be ready. Courage saved us today, but preparation will save us tomorrow." Mira looked at him with admiration. "I am glad you are here, Kaelin. I could not imagine facing this without you." He smiled faintly. "You would have faced it. You are brave, Mira, but together we are stronger. That is what matters." As night fell, Kaelin studied the alien patterns once more. He knew that intelligence and strategy would be their greatest allies in the future. The battle had tested his courage and skill, but it had also tested his patience, leadership, and loyalty. He had passed, and he would continue to prepare for whatever challenge came next. The twin moons shone high above Vera, and Kaelin felt a quiet sense of purpose. She was human, far from Earth, but he had found a home and a mission. He would protect the princess, the queen, and the people of Vera with all he had. And when the aliens returned, he would be ready to face them again. The city slept under the silver light, unaware of the dangers that still lurked beyond the horizon. Kaelin remained alert, planning, learning, and preparing. Courage had saved the city once, but vigilance and wisdom would ensure it survived for years to come. The city of Vera slowly recovered from the second attack. Streets that had been scarred by alien energy blasts were being repaired. Citizens rebuilt their homes, shared food, and comforted one another. The battle had tested the city, but it had also revealed strength and courage that many had not known existed. Kaelin stood on the palace balcony watching the people below. Relief and pride filled him, but he knew that vigilance was still necessary. Princess Mira joined him, her eyes bright with determination. "The city looks strong again," she said. "But I know we must remain ready." "They may return," Kaelin nodded. "Yes, they will always look for weaknesses, but we have learned from every encounter. We are stronger because of it. Strategy and courage will guide us, not fear," Mira smiled. "And you have taught me so much. I feel ready to face anything now." Kaelin looked at her, seeing not only a princess but a capable leader. Her intelligence, courage, and determination had grown with every challenge. Together they had defended the city and inspired the citizens. The palace was quieter now, though work continued inside. Queen Solara summoned Kaelin to the council hall. He walked through the grand corridors, noting the repairs and the busy staff. The murals on the walls reflected the history of Vera, a reminder that the city had survived countless challenges before. The Queen was waiting. Her expression was calm but stern. "Kaelin," she said, "you have proven your courage, intelligence, and loyalty. You saved my daughter and the city. The citizens recognize your bravery. Your actions speak louder than any words could." Kaelin bowed respectfully. "I only did what was necessary, Your Majesty." I sought to protect the princess and the people. The queen studied him carefully. You have earned not only recognition but trust. I cannot deny that you have shown qualities beyond expectation. Your presence in this palace has been a test and you have passed. Kalen felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. He had not acted for praise or reward. His goal had always been to protect, to ensure safety. Yet hearing the queen acknowledge his efforts was a validation of his dedication and courage. The queen continued, her voice softer than before. I will grant you freedom within the palace and the city. You may act as you see fit to protect Vera. But remember that responsibility carries weight. Do not misuse the trust you have earned. I understand, Your Majesty, Kalen said. I will continue to protect the city and serve as you command. Mira appeared beside him, smiling. You have earned it, Kalen. The queen's respect is well deserved. The queen looked at the princess. Mira, your guidance and courage have been equally important. You have proven yourself capable of leading and protecting the citizens. Together, you two form a strong partnership for the future of Vera. Kalen and Mira exchanged a glance, a quiet acknowledgement of their teamwork. Their bond had grown through danger and preparation, each respecting the other's abilities and courage. With the queen's approval, Kalen resumed his duties with renewed confidence. He trained the palace guards, studied alien patterns, and worked with Mira to improve city defenses. The citizens welcomed his guidance, inspired by the human who had risked his life to protect them. Days later, a council was held to discuss the future of the city. Leaders, engineers, and senior guards gathered to plan for long-term safety. Kalen presented his strategies, explaining how to anticipate alien movements, strengthen defenses, and train new leaders. Mira spoke alongside him, her intelligence and leadership evident to all. The queen watched silently, proud but cautious. She could see that Kalen had not only saved the city, but had strengthened it for the future. His guidance had inspired confidence, courage, and unity among the people. After the council, Mira approached Kalen in the palace gardens. You have done more than I imagined, she said. The city, the guards, even the citizens, they respect you. I respect you, Kalen smiled faintly. It is not about respect. It is about preparation, courage, and teamwork. Together we can achieve more than any one person alone. Mira nodded. I understand, and I am grateful that we face these challenges together. The palace returned to its normal rhythm, though the shadow of the alien threat remained in the distance. Kalen continued his work, improving defenses and training both guards and citizens. He knew that vigilance and preparation were the keys to survival. One evening, as the twin moons rose over the city, Kalen walked with Mira along the palace balcony. The streets below were quiet, citizens moving peacefully, their homes restored. They look at the city and see safety, Mira said. They may not know how much courage it took to defend it. Kalen shook his head. Courage is not about recognition. It is about action. The city is safe because many people acted together. I only helped guide them. That is all any person can do. Mira looked at him with admiration. You inspire people. Not just me, but everyone. They trust you because you care, and that is rare. Kalen smiled. Then we will continue to protect them. Together, we will be ready for whatever comes next. The queen, observing from a distance, felt a quiet pride. The human who had once been a stranger was now a trusted protector. He had proven that courage, intelligence, and loyalty could come from anyone, even from a world far from Vera. The city thrived under the protection of Kalen, Mira, and the palace guards. Citizens rebuilt their lives, inspired by the bravery and dedication of those who had defended them. Kalen's actions became a story told in every corner of the city, a tale of courage and hope. As weeks passed, Kalen continued to study alien technology and city defense strategies. Mira joined him in the research, learning quickly and contributing her own insights. The partnership between human and princess strengthened the city and ensured that its people were prepared for the future. One day, the queen called Kalen to the palace balcony. She looked out over the city, her expression softening. Kalen, you have done more than I could have expected. Your bravery, your intelligence, and your loyalty have changed the way we see humans. You have earned your place here not just as a protector but as a trusted advisor. Kalen bowed. I am honored, Your Majesty. I will continue to serve and protect. The queen nodded. Your freedom is yours to use wisely. Protect the city, guide the guards, and support Princess Mira. You have proven that courage and loyalty are not bound by species. Kalen felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He had come to Vera as an outsider, a visitor from another world. Now he was a hero, a protector, and a trusted advisor. His actions had earned respect not just from the queen, but from the citizens, the guards, and the princess he had saved. Princess Mira approached, her eyes shining. "You have saved us all, Kalen. But more than that, you have inspired us. You have shown us what courage and loyalty truly mean." Kalen smiled. "We all have courage. We all have the ability to act when it matters most. I only did what was necessary. Together we will protect this city and this planet." The twin moons rose high above Vera, casting silver light over the palace and the city. Kalen stood beside Mira and looked at the horizon. The alien threat had not returned, but he knew it might one day. Yet he felt ready. He had the trust of the queen, the respect of the citizens, and the support of Princess Mira. Vera was safe for now. But its future was brighter because of courage, loyalty, and teamwork. Kalen had proven that one human could make a difference not by seeking glory, but by acting with honor and heart. The city thrived under the protection of those who had faced danger and stood firm. Kalen had earned his place in Vera, not by being of this world, but by showing the qualities that every protector must have: courage, intelligence, and unwavering loyalty. As the stars twinkled above and the city rested in peace, Kalen knew that he had found a purpose far from Earth. He had found a home, a mission, and a future worth fighting for. The people of Vera would remember him, not just as a human who saved the princess, but as a hero who embodied the best qualities of all beings, human or alien.